What's up everybody? This is Coach Nathan Barbosa with PhysioFix Training Systems. In this video we're going to be going over some functional range conditioning training principles for the hips to increase active control of our hips, specifically within internal and external rotation bias movements. So we're going to be focusing on lift-offs for this video. Specifically, we're going to be doing these from the 90-90 position. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into 90-90. We want to make sure we have a nice clean box in the front and a nice clean box in the back. So 90 degrees at this knee, 90 degrees at this knee. What we're going to do here is I want you guys to turn your torso towards the back leg to produce a little bit of a stretch on this hip. Ideally, you would have already done your hip cars and you would have already gone through some pails and rails to help open up range in the hip capsule. So we're going to assume you've already done that. Or you're somebody who is already on the hypermobile / very mobile side and you're trying to better control your ranges. So we're going to get right into it. So for the lift-offs, all we are trying to do is lift this ankle up from as close to our end range of motion as possible. So for me, my end range of motion is wherever I have to be to allow this thing to move a fraction of an inch off the ground. So for some of you, you might be turned very forward, lean, and then make this float. That may be the only way you can get this to lift off. For some of you, you might be able to turn all the way into it and get this thing to lift. As you can see, mine does not move from here. I can make my foot move, but I cannot make the ankle float. And that's what we want. We want the ankle to float so we can create internal rotation of the femur in the hip joint, aka the acetabulum. So what we're going to do is we're going to figure out where we need to be at absolute end range. So I want you guys to be able to lift just about 1 to 3 inches off the ground at the absolute most. So for me, that's about right there. Now what we want to do is sniff in some air and pressurize our core. And you want you guys to pull in your belly button and try to lock that core in place. And I want you to be able to breathe while maintaining this engagement. As we keep that torso and that thoracic cavity nice and pressurized, we're going to grab this front ankle and we're going to lift. We're going to lift and we're going to hold for 5 to 10 seconds, constantly fighting for more. And we're going to maintain that, trying to flex deep and clean into the hip where it connects to the pelvis. And we're going to very slowly let that sink down. We'll re-engage, lock in those abs. The entire body is generating just a little bit of tension all the way through it. And now we're going to funnel all that energy into our leg, and we're going to lift. We're putting about 50% effort into the working leg, and we got about 30% effort solidifying the rest of the body. Biggest thing to remember is the body is a statue and we only allow movement at the working joint. As far as intensity goes, that will go along with whatever program you're working with. It should correlate to your strength training program, is what I like to tell my clients. If you work with me, you know what this looks like. So as you keep doing these, you should be able to produce more lift since the central nervous system is developing and connecting better to this joint. So ideally, you're going to go through sets of 8 to 12 repetitions, constantly fighting for more lift with each and every rep. You'll do this for 2 to 3 sets on each side. So I recommend you do your 8 to 12 on one leg, switch, go to the other side, same thing, set up, find that end range wherever you can just barely get it off the ground, and then you'll do your 8 to 12 reps on that leg, and then you'll go back, 8 to 12, 8 to 12, 8 to 12, 8 to 12. Treat it just like strength training because it is strength training. All right, we are developing and strengthening the tissues that hold the hip together and produce this movement, specifically the capsule of the hip and all that connective tissue. So this is a bulletproof exercise everybody should be doing. So give this a shot and let me know how it goes. Thanks for watching, guys.